Okay, everybody, here we go, and here we are. It is Selection Day, Tuesday, November 5th, 2024, pre-market report. I don't have an overwhelming amount of material to cover this morning because I want to focus on maybe a different perspective on what's happening. Later on today during my live stream, I'm going to cover some more concepts that I think are very important. But let's start off with this here. How many of you have heard what I'm about to say? All warfare is based on deception. Does this ring a bell to you? Okay. Well, let's expound on this just a little bit here. What we are witnessing is a war between two factions, neither of which has your best interest in mind. What they are trying to achieve is a power to influence you to support those who have power over you. I hope that makes sense to you. So again, let's just recap what I said. This is a war, make no mistake about it, between opposing factions, two wings of the same bird. Okay, now with that, these factions are vying for power, again, to support those that have power over you. Period. So what we see here is this game that is played on the people, or should I say plagued on the people who are the ones being deceived. Period. That's how I can best outline what is going on here and what this mechanism has caused, this war between opposing factions who, again, do not have your best interest in mind. The best interest, their allegiance lies in those that have power over you. It should be pretty obvious here. And where's the proof? Look around you, people. How's it playing out for you? Wherever you live in the world, you're living under the same scheme, mechanism, grand deception. And of course, this is a mechanism to conquer society, for which we have been, none more so here in the United States. Divide, conquer, control. So with that said, for those of us who have a keen understanding of this, whatever happens later on today, understand it's predestined. That's number one. Number two, don't fall through the trap doors that they're setting for you right now. They want you to fall through this trap door so they can foster more division, more hatred for the end game. The end game is very, very simple to understand, people. Everything is already changing, but it's going to change very dramatically and very rapidly at one point. All this comes down to, really, I mean, you could look at how they play on your mind. These particular issues that are important to this faction, these particular issues that are important to that faction, they're now weaponized to twist your mind into thinking whatever they tell you is true. And obviously, look, man, unless you are really that blind to the situation, there are throngs of people, probably half the population, at least I believe that, it could be more, that have bought it all because they have been propagandized to the highest possible order. So the trap door now is going to be what happens after this event later on. And unfortunately, it's going to be weaponized yet again to foster more division, more hatred, and more control. Understand? I really hope all of you who follow this blog, and I know that those of you that do follow this blog think on a higher plane or a higher level than the general dumbed down public who has no idea that there is a war going on and that all war is based on deception. And these opposing factions here, their war to gain power over you to support those who are really pulling the strings. You understand? Most people have no idea that. They really believe that that is the job of government to take care of them, or we the people. That's just not the truth here. The job of government has now been made into a mechanism that supports those, again, that have power over you. And that's not where we're supposed to be anywhere in a free society, okay? What are we free to do? Participate in their system? You can't transact outside their system. You have to follow their rules. We don't get to make the rules anymore. And neither can we make the rules anymore. Because why? We've already been conquered. We're a divided society. We can't come together to elicit change, which is, of course, the grander plan here to support those that have power over you. Look, man, whatever happens later on today, overnight, tomorrow, do not get caught up in it, because it's a game. It's just all a mechanism, again, to foster anxiety, stress, and discord. And these are other mechanisms utilized to control you. If you allow this to happen, then you're frankly done. Me, frankly, and you know my take on this, I don't care at all. It doesn't matter anymore. We have zero say in the outcome of any of this. That's my take on it. You know, it's kind of interesting. So this morning I wake up. No less than 20, maybe more, questions about, Greg, who should I vote for? I didn't answer a single one. You all know my take on this. I sincerely believe that if our votes actually counted, we wouldn't be allowed to vote. I really believe that. Could I be wrong? Maybe. Okay, that's just my belief based on what I see going on here. And again, understanding that these warring factions right now, this war is against you. It's not really against each other. The war is against you, for those vying for power, again, to support those who have control over you. That's what this is all about. And unfortunately, the people have been yanked and pulled inside out and upside down. They don't have any idea of what's going on here. Oh, sure, they're hearing the promises out of this creature's mouth and this creature's mouth, and none of it, 99% of it, isn't even going to happen anyway. But you see, it doesn't matter. It's a war for control and to mislead the public, to have you focus on things that are just nonsense, to create anxiety, fear, and discord. That's what this is really all about, people. But what you and I are doing here is understanding these kinds of concepts and utilizing the greatest weapon against us that they've utilized very successfully to destroy us all. And that is, of course, the driving force behind the entire world system, and that comes down to economics and finance. They've weaponized the economy against you and me to support a stock market. Again, just to put this into a very basic perspective, and you will probably know what I'm going to say, the two basic principles that we need to support a strong economy, that is, of course, a strong currency and a rate of interest high enough to support the purchasing power of the currency. This has been stripped away from us here. Central banks in here, in this case the Federal Reserve, weaponizing that system, obviously artificially suppressing rates, destroying the purchasing power of the currency. And then we have two puppets here, Kamala and Trump, selling you the Fed's plan. So how are either one of these people on your side? If you can't see that they support the system that has been weaponized against you, meanwhile, again, all the propaganda on the other side of it, what it comes down to is the basic principle that central banks are in control, full control. They control the monetary system. They're the ones responsible for inflation and everything else that's going on here. And the system is being taken apart piece by piece by piece, and the people of the world are paying the price for it. We have stock markets here at near record highs in the United States. We're just a fraction off of record highs here. Meanwhile, the economy is being decimated. Again, it's those same two fundamental principles that would support an economy. When they're turned upside down, they become an economic wrecking ball and support the market. And not only support the market, but of course the 1% and 2%ers, the central banks. How is that helping you? It isn't. So this war between these factions, okay, you have to understand, it is a mechanism of control, but again, not supporting you, to support those that have control over you. Once you realize these things, your whole life is going to change here. And then you got to realize you must take action. Number one, we cannot allow the war between these factions here to bleed off into us, because that's exactly what has happened here. Why do you think we have the most divided and conquered society in history? Why families have been split up, friendships, marriages on the back of all this? Do you think this is really just by accident that this is occurring right now? Of course not. You have to understand, the media, the mainstream media, even a lot of the alternative media outlets have been bought and paid for. You understand me? You know my take on this. There's no way on this earth, off this earth, or anywhere else, I can be bought off. You understand that? I work for you guys and you girls. No amount of cash or promises of grandeur or anything else is going to change my responsibility to every single one of you out here. That's not the case for some pretty large, the largest of them all, as a matter of fact, so-called alternative media outlets. They're bought and paid for too. And you should understand that. If any of them are out there endorsing, for example, a particular candidate, you know they're bought and paid for. These platforms should be neutral, because they should understand that the warring factions here is a war against you to support those who have control over you. So when you hear about so-and-so supporting candidate so-and-so, or so-and-so supporting candidate so-and-so, you know they've been bought and paid for. I really hope you're getting it. Period. The end. I'm on your side. I've always been on your side. I am out here for we the people, not just of the United States. This particular blog is global. And I want to help everybody to understand the mechanism behind what's going on here. And not just that, what we can do to take action against it, because most people have no idea. They are going to be wiped out beyond the point of recognition. What do we know is going on here, people? I discussed this yesterday. There are two elements right now that are in play with regard to the world markets that have the potential to melt this down on a scale that we've never seen before. Let's just review real quick. I showed this to you yesterday with regard to the S&P 500 and PE ratios. Where did I put this here? Somewhere over here. Well, anyway, here we go. I want you to look at this. Look at this. In 1929, the S&P 500 PE ratio was 17.77, 87, 18.1. In 08, 21.46. Today, we're at 29.22. We've never seen this before, a market that is so overvalued, so out of touch with reality, so disconnected from anything that's happening in the economy. And that's because, again, the system has been weaponized. Those things, again, strong currency and a corresponding rate of interest that would support the purchasing power of the currency, have been turned upside down. That's why the economy is being destroyed. That's why the last 3 presidents here have done more to support the Federal Reserve than every single president before them combined, going back to George Washington with regard to inflating the debt. You know a central bank's power. It resides in one thing, their ability to inflate. When you have puppets, and we're going to get a new puppet, whoever it may be, is not on your side. They support those that have power over you. In this case, it is the central banks who are the one world government we've all been warned about since, well, time immemorial. And they will solidify their power moving forward. We're going to see debts and deficits balloon. We're going to see economic destruction, Again, because what are they doing? What are they selling you? What is Trump selling you? What is Kamala selling you? Exactly the Federal Reserve's plan. That is to keep rates artificially suppressed and destroy the purchasing power of the currency. Massively positive for the stock market, but it's massively negative for the economy. So every other word that comes out of their mouth is nothing but deception. Are you starting to understand what we're talking about here? No matter what happens with regard to the economy, we lose. No matter who is selected, we lose. With regard to the stock market, we're watching one thing and one thing only, people, and that is action here in the debt market. This is where we are today. This is very dangerous. Don't pay too much attention to this number. Look at the 10-year yield this morning. We're getting instability. Again, we're starting to see instability in the debt market. That is one of the two elements that has the potential to melt down this entire thing. We know we're being pushed towards the greatest meltdown of all time. Again, looking at the current PE ratio of the S&P 500 here. Do you think I'm making this stuff up? No. Look it up for yourself. This is all real. Again, nothing makes sense unless you understand the mechanism here that is to ensure that central banks attain more power. Again, no three presidents have done more to vault the Federal Reserve, in this case, to the top of that pyramid than the last three. We're talking about Obama, Trump, and Biden. They've been the best friends of the central bank than every other president before them combined. I want you to think about that. So you tell me who these people work for. They work for you or those who have power over you. It should be pretty simple. Anyway, people, look, man, that's kind of where we're at. So this morning, we got a few things going on. Stock futures are higher. Gold, silver, and crude oil catching a bid. Cryptocurrencies doing pretty darn well here. Look at Doge. That is incredible. But people, look, man, I just want you to understand, and I think you do if you follow this blog already. I don't give a damn what they do. Whatever they do, I can promise you that we will counter-strategize against it all, just as we've been doing since for 1,000 years, it seems to me, betting against the system. The system is being taken apart piece by piece. They're going to put another puppet behind the resolute desk that's going to ensure that those that already have power over you have even more. It doesn't matter who they put there. They could put a farm animal behind the resolute desk. Is going to turn out to be the same. Unfortunately, the people here, because they've been conquered, have probably bought a lot of the lies in this war between factions, not understanding that the war is actually against you. But we're too smart for that. Are we on the same page? People, let them play their games, because it's not going to stop. We are going to play our games moving forward. And we can't lose. You know why? Because we understand the deceptions, the distractions that are going on here, this twisted environment. No one understands it better than we do. And wisdom, or having a wise mind, is power. You can see through it all, and then you can take action. Understand? All right, look, I'm going to let you all go. You got something out of this video, let me know. You think I'm completely wrong? Let me know too. I will see all of you later, 4 or 5 p.m. We're going to cover some more about what we will see overnight in the currency markets, the futures markets, and I don't want any of you to rattle. So I just want to lay out the groundwork for where that's going to go later too. So I hope to see you there, 4 or 5 p.m. Eastern for the live stream. People, no matter what, I got your back, and we got each other's backs. We're all looking out for each other because this is a worldwide family, and you're part of it. You are part of it if you are a follower of this blog. And in my view, that makes us freaking invincible. All right? I'll see you all later. 4 or 5 p.m. Eastern for the live stream. People, until we meet again, you know what I'm going to say. Take care of yourselves and each other.